there, Denver Roller Derby fans. We are less than 5 minutes away from getting started with our first game of the night, peanut butter versus jelly. This is our juniors. And I am Dice Goblin announcing for you tonight, as well as on the camera. Playing for Jelly on the white team. We have number 113, Slasher, 14, Hizzle, 24, Spider Slam, 29, Hella Destroyer, 303, Ratatouille, 31, Trick or Treat, 47, Tricks, 515, Kit Kat, 52, Panic, number 6, Dire Wolf, 63, Red Rover, 630, Dale Force Wind, 666, Waffles, 73, Starface, 81, Cottonmouth, 88, Track Mamba. Oh, and joining me on announcing is Glit.
Hello, can you hear me?
For the peanut butter team in blue, we've got 08 Penny Lane, 10 Sid Vicious, 11 Painbow, 13 Beholder, 15 Brawly Pop, 160 Rosa Lethal, 171 Hello Hitty, 219 Scary Licious, 365 Phoenix, number 4 Killer Bee, 42 Varuka Assault, 50 Poltergeist, 616 El Diablo, 626 Stitch, 67 Skid Rose, and 72 Storm.
All right, if you had to pick a team, would you be jelly or peanut butter?
I definitely be peanut butter for sure.
Me too. I love a good peanut butter jelly, though. But I guess today we'll find out who's better, which is better.
Right. Well, I love that they are still part of the same team, making the best team in roller derby.
Yep. Better together.
Absolutely. I'm also very excited for the second bout later tonight with Team Fuego Latino against our Denver Roller Derby.
Yeah, it looks like the game after this, our second match tonight, is going to be Fuego Latino's World Cup team. So, yeah, we have check the Instagrams for Denver and Fuego for a virtual auction to help Fuego Latino get to the World Cup in Austria this summer. And they'll be playing against Denver, a mix of our A and B team. So looks like it's about 2/3 Bruising Altitude and 1/3 Mile High Club. But that'll be in a couple hours. Right now we have a very exciting game to look forward to with our juniors. Looks like we'll be starting about 30 seconds on the time to derby clock. Do you want to announce it all, or does it?
So it's still on.
All right, looks like the first jam is about to commence. And we have Scarylicious jamming for jelly against Ratatouille for peanut butter. And that is a fast lead there for, I believe that's Scarylicious. So it looks like Team Jelly is in blue tonight and peanut butter is in white. All right, that's 4 points on the board there for Team Jelly. We have a Ratatouille struggling in the back of the pack, a strong, strong four-well from Jelly holding them back a bit. Ooh, a fancy spin there. Ooh, oh no. A fancy spin into a cut track by Scarylicious.
Oh, it's the worst.
Oh, look, Jammer Do-si-do in the penalty box. That means Scarylicious will be released first, and because we cannot do roller derby without a jammer, that means Ratatouille will also be released. However, on Scarylicious' return to the pack, Scarylicious entered in front of a couple people on the track, resulting in a cut track penalty. We have a power jam for peanut butter and Ratatouille. 30 seconds left in the jam, and Ratatouille is currently working on their initial pass and breaking free right now. Awesome. That puts Ratatouille and peanut butter in scoring position. Scarylicious exiting the penalty box as we speak. Let's see if we can get some points for peanut butter on the board before this jam ends. Looks like we had 1 on the board for peanut butter. Officials confirming points for Jelly. 6 total on the board for Jelly. And it looks like Ratatouille is heading to the box as a jammer for peanut butter. That gives Jelly a power jam, and that is, sorry, can't quite see the number there. That is Rosaliathal. Ooh, and they also got a penalty. You know, a jammer do-si-do in the box isn't the most common situation to have, but we've already had it a couple times. Pretty interesting start to our game today. Nice catch there by Beholder on the inside line there. Recycling Ratatouille to the back of the pack. Let's see. So because Ratatouille started in the penalty box, they are able to get lead jammer status unless they take off the star. Rosalethal has, oh, Rosalethal, there we go. I get it now. Rosalethal has not made their initial pass legally yet before they went to the box. And because they went to the box in the middle of the jam, they are unable to have lead jammer status. So while they are in scoring position, they are unable to end the jam. It looks like Ratatouille did do a star pass there to Trick or Treat. That means that this jam will go the full 2 minutes. Four points on the board there for Jelly. And 4 points on the board for peanut butter. Ooh, actually I rescind that comment. Looks like another power jam. So Trick or Treat is going to the box as a jammer. And Rosalethal to the box as well. 3 jammer do-si-dos in 4 minutes. This will be a very interesting start to the game. Let's see if our jammers can reset on their penalties a bit going further into the game. You do give a very large advantage to the opposition on a power jam. So
Looks
the
like
quickest way to save points is by staying out of the box.
Looks like Jelly was able to net 4 points that jam.
Perfect. And I honestly, I think Peanut Butter was in scoring position. I think the points weren't counted because they went back to the box. I'm not sure, but they did have some points. But, you know, this is a fun mix-up game, and it's fun practice for our officials as well. Currently, we have Rosa Lethal starting in the penalty box for Jelly, but that's Hizzle with lead for Peanut Butter. Pretty quick scoring pass there for Hizzle. And that is 4 points on the board. Woohoo! Finding
Nice.
the tiniest of holes on the inside, making another quick 4 points. That makes this only 1 point game. Big recycle there. I believe that's Hello Hitty, if I can see that far. Starface coming in to play some quick O there for Hizzle.
Oh, Hizzle taking a penalty.
Wow, we have, how many jams is this? This is jam number 3. We've had 3 2-minute jams in this game, so every jam has been a full 2 minutes.
That's rough.
Yeah, I definitely don't envy these skaters. 2 minutes, it doesn't seem like a long time, but on skates, it feels like forever. Looks like Rosie Lethal has a cut track penalty, courtesy of, who was that? Oh, Cottonmouth. And unfortunately, we have both jammers starting in the box. So what will happen is at the jam start, the white jammer Hizzle will be released, and Rosa Lethal will only stay in the box for as long as Hizzle was in the box for. Nice juke there. Hizzle's got some good jukes and some speed. So that's lead jammer status for Hizzle and Peanut Butter. And I believe on the last jam we actually had a lead change. So now it's a 2-point game, but in Peanut Butter's favor. Rosie Lethal got out of the box, so they are now on their scoring pass as well. This is their 4th jam in a row just from penalties, so I can imagine how tired they are. If I said 2 minutes is long, 7 minutes is really long as well.
An eternity.
Yes. All right. We have a Peanut Butter with 20 points, Jelly with 11 in the game. Jelly was really racking up the points in the first 2 jams, but it looks like Peanut Butter's defense has put a hold on that for now. All right, it looks like we have, sorry, I can't see numbers quite yet. Brawly Pop for Jelly. And oh, I can't see. Oh, that's Dale Force Win for Peanut Butter, fighting at the top of the pack and getting lead jammer status. looks like Peanut Butter is choosing to run this jam. That's 4 points on the board there for Team Jelly by Brawly Pop. Big recycle there by Trick or Treat on Brawly Pop, taking them all the way to the back of the pack. Big hit there again. Ooh, a couple big hits there. I tell you, junior roller derby is very scrappy. Speak of the devil.
No fear whatsoever.
I know. I'm too old to not have fear.
Right.
All right, so that was 7 points on the board for Jelly with that jam and 4 for Peanut Butter. A 6-point differential between the two teams. And again, we have Jelly is in navy and Peanut Butter is in white. Think of a grape jelly or blueberry jelly, I don't know. I ain't never had no blueberry jelly, but makes more sense for blue to be jelly than white. All right, and that is lead jammer status there for Phoenix. Dale Force wins being recycled in the back of the pack. Dale really, really pushing that pack forward. Ooh, but a nice guide out there by Beholder. And it looks like Dale Force Winds is trying to do a star pass, and that is a successful star pass to Spider Slam. Ooh, but they were, oh no, they went to the box. Must have been an illegal star pass. Maybe one of the participants was not in play. All right, that's 4 more points on the board for Phoenix and Team Jelly. Dale still working to get out, but without the pivot there to help, it can be very difficult. Wow, it actually looks like the penalty box is filling up. Team Peanut Butter has their jammer, Dale, in the penalty box, along with 2 blockers. So that means Jelly is going to have a power jam in their favor, a whole 30 seconds. With they also only have 2 blockers on the track. But it looks like the jam has been in play. We didn't hear the whistles. There's a bit of confusion there. And that is lead jammer status there for Skid Rows. They were able to capitalize on that power jam. Whoop. Yes, unfortunately, Skid Rows does get a back block penalty called on them, which automatically makes this another 2-minute jam. Dale Force Winds does have the star in their hand, looking to pass it to their pivot. There's a successful star pass to Spider Slam. Phew-wee, another big hit. These juniors do not hold back. 4 points on the board there for Spider Slam as a pivot turn jammer. And Skater Rose is out of the pack with another 4 points. Or with 4 points, sorry. Great awareness there by Spider Slam to know that the blocker that hit them went out of bounds and they could re-enter. All right, that wraps up that jam. See, after confirming with the officials, it looks like 12 points on the board for Peanut Butter, 8 for Jelly on that jam, so that makes this a 2-point game. This jam, we have a Storm jamming for Team Jelly and Starface jamming for Team Peanut Butter. It looks like White has lead jammer status. That is, so that's Starface jamming for Peanut Butter with lead jammer status, and actually looks like Storm is in the penalty box, giving White a power jam.
Let's hope they can hold on to it this time.
That is a lead change with that jam as well. So now 2 points in favor of Peanut Butter for the game. All right, that wraps up that jam. Looks like we have a timeout for Team Jelly. All right, it looks like our game has sold out. There will be more tickets released for the Fuego game if you're interested in coming down. We'd like to give a thank you to Skate Rat Skate Shop. They're located in downtown Loveland. They're very excited to see the return of roller derby in Colorado. They are a proud, longtime sponsor of Denver Roller Derby. Skate Rats is a one-stop shop for all things skate. Check out their wide variety of products from custom skates to safety gear to skateboards and clothing. With over 10 years of experience, the Skate Rat staff is friendly and knowledgeable in helping you find or build whatever you may need. Make sure to check out skaterats.com, SK8RATZ.com, for a great selection of product and speedy shipping services to anywhere worldwide. Visit their retail store in Loveland for a smooth and enjoyable shopping experience. All right, we are back in this game. It looks like Veruca Assault has lead jammer status for Jelly, and that is Hella Destroyer still working to escape that tough Jelly defense for Team Peanut Butter. Woo-wee! Big swing there by Sid Vicious, but Hella Destroyer was able to dodge it. Looks like Veruca Assault was given the direction to keep skating, do not call off the jam. Looks like there's an illegal contact penalty for Hella Destroyer, so that is another power jam. That puts Team Jelly in a position to score some more points. Let's see if they'll want to go the full 2 minutes or ice the jammer or end it before they score. We will see. And Veruca Assault is one of our our most recently aged up junior. All right, they are getting their hips into that wall, getting some points accumulated. They did end the jam before the peanut butter jammer returned to the track, but they were released from the penalty box. So that was, I think, a 2-2. I can't see that far.
It's 18 for jelly and 2 for peanut butter.
So yeah, I think that is probably the biggest jam of the game. We have Killer B jamming for jelly and Slasher for peanut butter. It does look like Slasher gets lead jammer status for Team Peanut Butter, but Killer B is right on their heels. That jam was called off before points are put on the board. So point protection play by Jelly there. All right. Next up on the jam line, we have Phoenix for Team Jelly and Dire Wolf for peanut butter. Ooh, quick lead there by Phoenix, but Dire Wolf is right on their heels once again. Nobody wants to be a point, so everyone is skating as fast as they can to get away. No points for you. Ooh. So it looks like that was a little bit of a late call-off on the Jelly side. Points were scored by Peanut Butter, but it was not the full 4. So we're still an advantage in that one, a 4-2 jam. Scarylicious has a lot of fans in the house tonight. This jam we have Scarylicious jamming for Jelly and Panic for Peanut Butter. Peanut Butter did get a lead, but slipped out and it allowed the opposing blockers to reform around them, while Scarylicious still looks for a hole. All right, and that is Panic getting out with 4 points on the board. Should be 4 points on the board. It was not signaled by the jam ref. We'll see if there's any discussion about that after. There's 4 points, should be 8 total, but you know, like I said, we are practicing and learning always. All right, this jam we have Brawly Pop jamming for Jelly and Slasher for Peanut Butter. Brawly Pop does get lead, while Slasher faces a strong 3-wall in the back. Oh, but a perfect sweep by Peanut Butter to get them out, only about a half track behind Brawly Pop.
looks like that was just 4 points for Jelly that time.
Yeah, 4-0 Jam, nice and controlled. I think the teams, when the games start, they're always a bit excited and a bit frantic. I think everyone's settling into the game a bit and staying out of the box, calling the jam at the appropriate times. It's all shaping up now. We have Trick or Treat jamming for Peanut Butter there and Skid Rows for Jelly. Trick or Treat is working the front of the pack and does gain lead jammer status for Peanut Butter. Let's see if we can get get closer on this differential here with this lead jammer status. Ooh, and it looks like there was a cut on Skid Row. This is now a power jam for Peanut Butter. Skid Rows is standing in the penalty box. Strong defense there by Jelly. That was a great power kill, in fact, by Team Jelly. I don't think, Trick or Treat was unable to get out in that 30 seconds. Skid Rows is back on the track, fighting a front triangle of Peanut Butter. Looks pretty sticky from here. Woo!
Ooh, nice hit.
We got the best angle for that one. Looks like a out of play call on 616 there. That's, let's see. 616 is El Diablo. Yeah, unfortunately that one was a little tricky because the bridge linking El Diablo from for stay in play had actually fallen. So they were suddenly out of play with that contact. All right, 9-point differential now. This is just a back and forth game. We have Penny Lane jamming for Jelly. Ooh, but Waffles gets lead jammer status, finding a gap on the outside line for Peanut Butter. Jelly is chasing that Peanut Butter right now. All right, that was a quick call off there. Let's see. Yep, the full 4 points for Peanut Butter on that jam. That's awesome. And Jelly was held to 0, so a great call off. Now it's only 5 points between the two teams. That is Killer Bee jamming for Jelly in the front of the packs in navy. And Slasher in white jamming for Peanut Butter. Lead jammer status has been designated to Killer Bee. Good call off there by Jelly. Let's see, looks like 2 points for Team Jelly on that. Oh, 3 points. Very nice. We're starting the next jam with an empty penalty box. About a minute and a half left in this half. So if things go how they've been going, this could very well possibly be the last jam of the half. Quick lead there by Dire Wolf for Team Peanut Butter. And that is Phoenix fighting in the back of the pack for Team Jelly and Navy. was a big hit there by Red Rover to recycle Dire Wolf there. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was Phoenix there. Dire Wolf is making their way around the pack to get some more points on the board. 4-point game. We could get a tie game right here going into the second half. That'd be pretty fun.
Definitely an exciting game.
Yeah, it definitely shows how evenly matched and hard fought this game is. Let's see, jam was called. 3 points for Peanut Butter on that jam. If one of the coaches calls a timeout, we should have another jam. Otherwise, I'm not too sure. I didn't quite check the clock, but it is a 1-point game with Jelly in the lead right now. Yeah, it looks like that jam ended just in time, so there will be no next jam. All right, that is the half for you. Pretty exciting half. We saw lots of penalties. I'd say was the biggest takeaway from the first half, but it cleaned up, which was really impressive. We had ended up with a 1-point game at half, so it's really going to take 2 halves to decide who the victor is, Peanut Butter or Jelly, for tonight. Awesome. It looks like we'll be back in 14 minutes-ish. I'll start yapping before then, but the game starts in about 15:30.
We'll be back soon. Welcome back, Derby fans. We are about to start our second half of the juniors game, peanut butter versus jelly. Jelly is currently up by 1 point. We're going to get started in about 40 seconds here.
See, before we get started, I would like to thank AAA. AAA is one of our sponsors here at the Denver Rollerdome and of Denver Roller Derby. They've been elevating Derby safety standards with cutting-edge technology and unmatched fit options. They have the new deep cover helmet from AAA. It's the lowest profile, slimmest fitting, and only AAA certified helmet for roller derby. We also have our CVM sponsors our jerseys. So you can tell all these juniors have these really awesome Denver Roller Derby jerseys. They also sponsor our adults as well. Collectivum Sports is dedicated to providing you with top quality custom gear that elevates your performance and showcases your passion for the thrilling sport. Visit cvmsports.com for all your jersey needs. All right, and we have the first jam of the second half. That is Hello Hitty jamming against her sister, Cottonmouth. Let's see which sister gets lead. And that is Hello Hitty with lead jammer status for Jelly. Cottonmouth does get out of the pack. And these are both, if y'all watch a Denver Roller Derby, we have Cotton on MHC and other Cotton, Chet Cotton on ground control. They're both just Cotton, but that's actually both of their kids jamming against each other in that one, so that's a fun matchup. All right, 5-point differential now with Jelly in the lead.
Really does emphasize the family aspect of roller derby.
For real. I remember when I started derby, Chet was my coach, Smash was my idol. She gave me feedback when I was in phase 2 about whips so I could pass my test. And then both of their kids were like what, 4 and 6, I guess, at that time, which is a wild to imagine. One of them has a driver's license or a permit now, which is crazy. Anyway, we have Waffles with lead jammer status for Peanut Butter and Killer Bee out of the pack in scoring position now for Jelly. Quick call off there to prevent any scoring points for Team Jelly. Let's see, it looks like the refs are chatting about that one, and we have 0 points. Oh, 1 point there for Team Peanut Butter. That makes a tie game, folks. We have Scarylicious jamming for Jelly, and Hizzle now with lead jammer status for Peanut Butter. Good offense there by Poltergeist to get Scarylicious out of the pack. 4 points on the board there for Hizzle. And a quick call off, so that is an official lead change, right? Peanut Butter, yeah, I think Peanut Butter was behind before. It was so long ago, I can't remember. Derby gives you that goldfish brain, so. And that's actually Cotton there officiating middle OPR position. So both of our kids playing in the game. All right, we have, is that Jelly Vicious? Jamming for Jelly with lead jammer status. Ooh, a fast derby here. Sid Vicious, but on the screen it says Jelly Vicious. And versus Peanut Butter Mamba. All right. We are going all out with the themes today. I love it. Woo. Fast pack, fast points. 2 for Jelly, 1 for Peanut Butter.
Back to just a 2-point spread. Just got to make sure you spread your jelly and your peanut butter evenly.
Yes. All right, next jam. We have Slasher jamming for peanut butter and Brawly Pop for jelly. Brawly Pop does get lead jammer status. Pack is front, which actually was a great opportunity for Slasher to capitalize and get out of the pack. So they are now in scoring position as well.
Switching lead back up to jelly again.
Yeah, 1-point game. All 8 blockers on the track and 2 jammers. And that is lead jammer status there for Phoenix for jelly. Dale Force Winds is out as well, though, now in scoring position for peanut butter. Nice sweep there by jelly. Phoenix, I don't think had to touch anybody. Calling it off before Dale Force Winds can get too many points. Let's see. Yep, 0 for Dale Force Winds. And solid 4 for jelly. Yeah, the jams are pretty low scoring now that there haven't been power jams. There's been tighter call-offs. I think the biggest jam we had is an 18-point power jam in favor of jelly earlier. Kind of shows the effect power jams can have if you have less. Obviously, you have an advantage, right? If jelly didn't have that 18-point jam, they'd actually be significantly behind peanut butter at the moment. So very, very important to keep your jammers out of the box. And that is a Veruca Assault with lead jammer status for jelly. Spider Slam is working to get out. They have the star in hand, but do find a hole on the inside. And that looked like a dodge, a duck, a dip, and a dive there by Veruca Assault to get all 4 points. I think 4 points got assessed to the wrong team. Yep, there's that NSO point table red flag saying help, help. So I believe it should be 4-0 or 8-0, but we'll find out. It's not too late to check the Fuego Latino and Denver Roller Derby Instagrams. There's a QR code for a online silent auction. I believe you do have to be in Denver to pick up your items, but if you can't make it today, we can get those to you another day. And I think those are on for 24 hours. Definitely check those out. Everything goes to help Fuego Latino get to Austria for the World Cup this summer. Looks like we have a bit of the Macarena happening by the peanut butter team. There's even a wave breaking out. Yeah, Yeah, you can't give skaters too much time between jams because it just gets interesting.
Well, so much energy it takes to get into this. Gotta send it somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Looks like those points were figured out. 4 points were rescinded from Peanut Butter. So it was a 4-0 jam in favor of Jelly, making this a 9-point game. Yep, I agree. That was a lead jammer status there for Panic. See if they are aware of that, as Skid Rose is coming up in scoring position. If they check with their coach. Oh, I don't think the coaches even know. It's just me. And all y'all listening. All right. 4 points on the jam there for Peanut Butter, our lead jammer. Skid Rose does get out of that difficult, strong pack for 4 points. All right. So Peanut Butter, even though they didn't get out of the pack when they got lead, they actually got more points than Jelly, which is definitely impressive. I give credit to both the jammer and the strong Peanut Butter defense for holding back that Jelly jammer. All right. Let's see, next up on the jam line, we have Scarylicious versus Tricks. Instant lead there for Scarylicious, right out of the pack. All right, and that is a cut track penalty there for Tricks, making this a power jam for Scarylicious. It's like they're trying to do an inside sweep, and Scarylicious does make it through unscathed. Quick 4 points and a great setup for a power jam. Great offense there as well. That was Brawly Pop. Tricks has been released from the penalty box, so Peanut Butter does have a chance to slow down the bleeding there. Great star pass, but looks like Killer B actually had some great defensive blocking there and had the awareness to stop that star pass, or at least catch the pivot and recycle them. So that jam was called off. Is that 16 point?
16, yeah.
Nice. Second biggest jam. That's 2 16-plus point jams for Jelly. I think the biggest Peanut Butter has gotten would be, I think probably like maybe 12.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Woo-wee, big swing. All right, that is Painbow jamming for Jelly. Oh, wow, this is a jammer race, but Red Rover does have the jam status for Peanut Butter. The packs are running. They do not want to be a point. A ref is taken out. So intense. And all that for 0-0. All right, looks like there's an inside sweep set up for Peanut Butter, but it didn't quite fulfill. So we have a spider slam for lead for Peanut Butter by finding a hole on the outside. Penny Lane looking to the help of their blockers. Woo! Quick 4 points for spider slam. right, Jelly did manage to get a hold of Spider Slam for a bit to slow down those points, but they are out again. That is 4 more points on the board for Peanut Butter. Let's see if they're going to do points and call it or run it. And that is a quick 3 points. Two. Oh, that's 3. I can't see that far. All right, 11-point jam there for Peanut Butter. 10-point game.
Yeah, you were right. Peanut Butter did have 2 12-point jams earlier in the first half.
Wow.
And then Jelly had 1 18-point jam in the first half.
Perfect. So both teams have had a couple big jams. Lead jammer status for Jelly. That's Brawly Pop with the lead status designation. Starface for Peanut Butter is right behind. About quarter track. Again, let's see, is Jelly going to play hit it and quit it, get those points, or are we going to run it? And that is a call off. 0 for Peanut Butter. Looks like 3 for Jelly.
Peanut Butter is going to start this jam with one of their blockers in the penalty box.
Woo, nice hit flip there by, is that Hello Hitty? Oh no. Oh, Peanut Butter Mamba, that's right. I was gonna say, I thought their name was Track Mamba, but that on the screen looked way too long. That is Peanut Butter Mamba with lead jammer status. Hello Hitty is out of the pack and in scoring position. Track Mamba calls it off. Let's see if that was all 4. Looks like 3. So 108 to 98, 10 points again. Let's see, have you ever wanted to try your hand at roller derby? Denver Roller Derby can teach you. Taught by some of Colorado's best skaters, we teach you everything you need to know from stopping, falling, hitting, and derby itself. You can also join us if you're interested in volunteering or becoming an official. Our flight school program is 8 weeks, and our next recruit night is in May. Don't have an exact date yet for that. Please email join@denverrollerderby.org to get started. No skating experience is necessary. Come join our community today. Looks like we're having another official timeout. And some Macarena. You know, back in 2019, the Macarena was MHC's rollout.
No kidding. That's awesome.
It was unique, I'll say that. All right, and Denver Roller Derby is excited to welcome Ninja for a weekend-long training for area officials. Get your tickets now at denverrollerderby.org from April 12th and 13th. All right, looks like the officials sorted out whatever needed to be sorted. We have Phoenix and Hizzle jamming. Ooh, Hizzle finds a hole. Whoa, almost caught. Let's see who is lead. All right, Phoenix for Jelly is lead, and they're calling it off. 0-0 is better than a negative outcome, so we will take it. One jammer in the box for Team Jelly. very successful outside sweep there. That is Waffles getting lead jammer status for Peanut Butter. Woo! Very close catch on the inside line there, but Waffles does not get caught. We have Stitch jamming for Jelly. Really working through a very sticky wall of Peanut Butter there. But both are out. Woo!
Ouch.
Looks like we had a call off. Personally, I do disagree with that call, but that's okay. It looked like the skater ran in, the jammer ran into the blocker's foot. I don't see the blocker moving, but actually it looks like the Jelly coach is going to OR that. I have a feeling it's going to be about that low block call on that blocker, but we'll see. All right, we have our food truck today is La Mesa. They are out back in our courtyard. We have the Fuego Bodega. It's snacks and aguas frescas. Actually, I think it's a hot chocolate tonight.
Yeah, it was Mexican hot chocolate.
Yep.
It's really good, too.
Awesome. And I saw some conchas over there as well. All of the profits from that do go to Fuego Latino for that World Cup travel. It is very expensive to get, 25 people out to Austria?
Yeah.
We have a silent auction table as well. We have Rhino Sports Massage. Thank you to our new sponsor, Rhino Sports Massage. Whether getting ready for the next tournament or recovering from an injury or just needing a bit of quiet, their team is happy to help. Mention a roller derby when booking for a discount on your first session. Book your appointment at www.rhinosportsmassage.com. See, we also have some juniors merch and Denver merch and Fuego merch, all the merch for all the teams. And the after party tonight is going to be at Illegal Pete's on the South Broadway location. There are actually some great silent auction stuff online for Fuego. If you go to their Instagram stories, you'll find a QR code. Or maybe it's also, click on the link in the bio. So go to Fuego's Instagram, click on the link in their bio, and there's some great donations. There's a Apple Watch you can bid on, $400 value, a $100 Petco gift card, a $100 Siphon Draw Apothecary gift card, a North Face 55-liter backpack, glass hands haircut. This picture's hilarious. You got an Abolish Ice shirt, 2 pomades, a hair tonic, a comb, and some stickers. Some handmade, sorry, these pictures are cracking me up because I can just tell they did them in the back. It's very good.
Yeah.
Handmade crochet shawl, skate lessons with Peace War. You get a t-shirt and a sticker with that. Handmade Fuego coasters. Some handmade bead skate earrings, which are made by our very own green machine as well. Wow, the Fuego Latino quilt that has all the flags of their teams playing, or from Fuego. A Peruvian handbag. Anyway, lots and lots of great donated items that are definitely worth bidding on. Let's see. It looks like that blocker was not released from the box on that OR, so if it was about that, the penalty still stands. We have Jelly Vicious jamming for Jelly with lead jammer status and Waffles for peanut butter. Star pass there from Waffles to, I think that's, I don't know if they changed their name for this game. Let's see. All right. Well, it was a pass to Cottonmouth, so I can't remember if they put peanut butter or jelly in their names at all.
Another big jam for Jelly.
Yeah.
Bringing us to 120 to 106.
And that was a power jam as well. So really, these power jams just start adding up. This is still anyone's game, though. 14 points, you know, that almost just happened in this last jam alone, so. Big hit there to hit Slasher out on the inside of the track. Storm is working to find a hole for Jelly in the Navy. And they do. Storm is lead jammer, but Slasher is right behind them. Let's see if they're able to pick up any points on this jam. All right. I heard a call from the coach, but it does not look like the Jelly Jammer had heard that. So Slasher actually managed to pick up 4 points on that pass. But they were able to call it before Peanut Butter could capitalize, so it turns out to be an even jam, 4-4. All right, a thick pack there. Wow, let's see. We have Panic jamming for Peanut Butter and Phoenix jamming for Jelly. Panic does get lead jammer status and is in scoring position already.
Another 8 points for Peanut Butter, making Jelly just 6 points ahead.
Yeah, I think we knew that this was not going to be a clear winner for this game. We really have to go the full 60 minutes on this one. Nice hit out there by Hello Hitty to recycle Spider Slam. And we have Veruca Assault jamming for Jelly. Ooh, but does get recycled there as well. Maybe? No, yes, maybe, okay. Yeah, and that's another big recycle there by Track Mamba. I think they're Peanut Butter Mamba tonight, though. Woo-wee! Big hit there as well by Painbow. Living up to their name for sure. Woo. Big fall there. We do have a Veruca Assault standing in the penalty box with the jam star in hand. We'll see if Hello Hitty takes a pass or not. 45 seconds left in the jam. Spider Slam is over it. Called it off. All right, that is a lead change. 125 for peanut butter, 124 for jelly. You know what we do on lead changes? We drink our water. I left my water bottle at work.
Oh, no.
So this is great. We have Killer Bee jamming for jelly. Dale Force Wind jamming for peanut butter. Killer Bee does get lead jammer status. Woo, nice. Whoop. I thought it was nice, but it looks like it was a cut track call. And then we have another 2-minute jam here. Although Dale Force Winds is in a scoring position. Quick exit there, so that's 4 points on the board for peanut butter, extending their lead a bit. Ooh, a little messy pile up. That gives Dale Force Wind 4 more points for peanut butter. We do have Killer Bee standing in the penalty box and exiting now. Working that front tripod. "34 seconds left in the jam. We're gonna go the whole distance on this one. Another 4 points on the board there for Killer Bee. So far it's 8-8, but I know Dale has some points in the pocket right now. Oh, they did a star pass, so we will see how many points they accumulated on that pass. It was a full 4 points. All right, we are back to a 3-point game. I thought peanut butter was getting some room on that one, but actually it kind of swapped with that power jam.
It looks like there's a toe stop out there.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Ooh.
See if they can get another blocker out. Yep, perfect. All right, 5 minutes left in the game. Beholder is lead jammer for Team Jelly. Dire Wolf is jamming for peanut butter and finds a hole about quarter track behind. And that is Beholder calling off the jam for Jelly before Dire Wolf can score. So that's 4 points on the board, it should be. Yep, 4 points on the board there for Jelly. So 7-point game now. A little bit of distance, but with 4 minutes left, it's truly anyone's game. Both pivots fighting for that front line there. But it looked like that's not, oh, that is Cottonmouth. Had their toast up a little bit too far ahead. No, that's not Cottonmouth. I got my numbers confused, sorry. That's Hello Hitty, sisters, you know. Anyway, Cottonmouth is lead for peanut butter. Jelly Vicious is in scoring position and actively scoring. That is going to be legal game for both teams. 4 points for both. And Peanut Butter Mamba calls that off. Oh, that's what it was. It's Peanut Butter Mamba. Anyway, I'm old and can't see anymore. This platform doesn't let me see far enough. I need to update my prescription, but in this
kitty
system,
corner of everything.
please. All right. That looks like a timeout for Peanut Butter. Seven-point game still. 3 minutes left. All right. Skate Rat's skate shop, located in downtown Loveland, is very excited to see the return of roller derby in Colorado. A proud longtime sponsor of Denver Roller Derby, Skate Rats is a one-stop shop for all things skate. Check out their wide variety of products, from custom skates to safety gear to skateboards and clothing. With over 10 years of experience, the Skate Rat staff is friendly and knowledgeable in helping you find or build whatever you may need. Make sure to check out Skate Rats, that's SK8RATZ.com, for a great selection of product and speedy shipping services anywhere in the world. Visit their retail store in Loveland for a smooth and enjoyable shopping experience. Anytime we do have new skaters, I send them to Skate Rats. You can get Skate Rats packages. If you skate for Denver, you can get discounts with as a league and on certain brands that sponsor us, like AAA and S1 and Sisu. Even if you don't skate for Denver, definitely support them online. There's okay, I'll give you a little story time. I used to skate for Boulder County back in the day. We used to skate in a barn, and one day the barn burned down, and I lost all of my gear along with half of my team, and we had one more game that
Wait, you
weekend.
didn't lose half your team, did you?
I did not lose half my team in the fire. Half of my team lost our gear.
Okay,
Yes,
that's a relief.
Yeah, no, that would have been a little more traumatic, but here we are. And we had a game in Pittsburgh that decided if you're going to go to the Continental Cup or not, basically. And I didn't have any gear. My teams didn't have anything.
Oh, gosh.
I went to Skate Rats, and they got me completely set up on my exact old setup. So I was ready to go, and one of my teammates, they didn't have her specific knee pad in stock, but the owner uses those, so they let one of my teammates borrow their knee pads for the weekend.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, truly like a quality place you want to support. Great people there. One of our skaters, Evil X, works there as well. But yeah, super helpful, super great local shop.
Yeah, when I started roller derby just over a year ago now, they hooked me up and taught me how to take care of my gear, helped me pick out what was going to make sense for a new skater, and it was fantastic.
I was going to say, it's definitely helpful as a new skater because you know, some people buy skates online and they just do not work for this sport.
No.
But if you go to Skate Rats, they can give you direction and give you, you know, some deals and show you different options for your price points. So I always recommend new skaters to get cheaper skates, but there's also roller derby cheap skates compared to park skating or things like that.
Right.
So. All right, looks like we are about ready for this next jam. 7-point game still, only 3 minutes left on the clock. All 10 skaters are on the track. And there is our rolling whistle. All right, on our jam line, we have Brawly Pop up against Spider Slam. Ooh, quick little apex jump there by Spider Slam to get lead jammer status for Peanut Butter. So Peanut Butter is behind. Let's see what Spider Slam can do with this advantage. Looks like there must have been some sort of confusion where Brawly Pop exited the track. Maybe they misheard a penalty or a call from their coach. So it did give Spider Slam a bit more room to try to get some points. That was a 2-point jam. So 5 points now. Little jammer on jammer action off the initial there. Beholder jamming for Jelly, Slasher for Peanut Butter. Once again, I think we've seen this matchup before. Beholder does get lead, but Slasher is not far behind. Looks like they're choosing it to run this jam. Oh, maybe not. Maybe just a late call off. It was a little messy, but it looks like everyone came out okay. That is 2 points for Peanut Butter and 3 points for Jelly. So Jelly did come out positive. 6-point game, minute and 20 left. Looks like we have an official timeout to discuss some action on the track, make sure everything was legal.
Down to the most exciting part of this game.
I know.
Such close points.
Back
the
and
last
forth,
minute
too.
and 20.
Some thumbs up for the camera here. Glad to see that even in a close game, we're able to have fun. That's the most important part.
Absolutely.
All right, next up on the jam line, we have Hello Hitty up against Peanut Butter Mamba. These are both very talented jammers, but Jelly does have lead in the score advantage. A minute left in the game. Let's see if they choose to run it and just kill the game time, especially now that Peanut Butter Mamba is out and in scoring position. All right, so they are just protecting their points. Peanut Butter was assessed for points, which is incorrect. Official timeout to fix that, it appears. 4 points on the board for Jelly, though. "37 seconds left in the game, so you will have one more jam." There it goes. So those points are corrected. Now it is a 10-point game in Jelly's favor. So in order to win, Peanut Butter is going to have another one of those big jams. They had 2 12-point jams earlier in the game, so they would need one similar to that. I think it came from a power jam situation as well. Also, if you're Peanut Butter and you get lead, you just run it till the game ends, because there's always a chance. Or until your 2-minute jam clock runs out. All right, probably the second to last rolling whistle of the game. 10-point game on our hands. And that looks like we have Hizzle jamming for Peanut Butter. Oh, but Phoenix does get lead. Crowd goes wild. Nice spin move there by Hizzle. Ooh, Hizzle does get out and is in scoring position. It looks like the Jelly coach is telling Phoenix to run the jam. Their goal is to end that game clock. Might be the whole jam clock, just to get as much out of this game as we possibly can. Looks like the coach's hands are raised to call it. Calling the jam, the signal. And that is a victory for Jelly over Peanut Butter. Who knew? That is a 7-3 jam. We had quite the game. Lots of lead changes, lots of jammer penalties. some big jams, some great call-offs, some big hits, and that will end our first game of the night, peanut butter versus jelly. Next up, we have Fuego Latino's World Cup roster up against Denver's MHB, which is a mix of their A and B teams. That one will start around 8 p.m. Mountain Time, so about 30 minutes. We will be back on the mic to give those introductions, but in the meantime, get a snack, get something to drink, and yeah, tune in soon. Thank you.
Welcome back, welcome back. We are about to start our next game with Denver Roller Derby versus Fuego Latino Roller Derby. For Denver Roller Derby, we've got Scare Bear, number 3, number 13, Rat, number 16, Southern Discomfort, 1706, Maven, 2806, Brownie Darko, 35, Most Definitely, 433, Polly, 60, D-Rex, 64, Vinny, 8000, California, 1216, Jane, 151, Smash Cotton, 17, Bold Move Buttons, 26, Mikwazabi Blazin', 33, Tacos, 357, Bree Afraid, 505, Kraken, 616, Grizz, 777, Miserable, and 99, Chinaski. And for Fuego Latino, I'm going to do my best. I don't know much Spanish. We've got Karma Electrac, Whiskey at 027, 1031, Whiskey Von Sweets, number 12, Ms. Take. Mistake. There we go. 17, Don't Blink. 237, Blue Jay. 297, Maneki. 511, Machu Picchu. 594, No Mames. 99, Dominican Dynamite. 03, Olivia Shootin' John. 113, Velocity Raptor. 121, Reflux. 22, Mimi Mahler. 27, Peace War. 30, Ms. Defiant. 55, Hoss the Boss. And 80, Zelda. Fuego Latino is prepping for their World Cup journey. They will be skating against at least 20 other teams out in the great country of Austria. And I believe out in June or July is when they're flying out. So make sure to catch that either on YouTube or Twitch when they are streaming. We're going to get started here in 1 minute. $20 seconds left to our first jam. And here we go. Got Miss T Maven for skating for Denver. Skating against Hoss the Boss on Fuego Latino. As you can see, with more experienced older skaters, the game can go much, much faster. Called off by Hoss the Boss. 4 points for Fuego Latino. Looks like Ms. Take is lead jammer for Fuego. Vinny is the Denver jammer. Not able to get past that Fuego wall. Called off by Ms. Take. Another 3 points to Denver. And 4 more to Fuego for 8-3. Denver's jammer is Moose definitely. And Fuego's jammer is to be determined. It is Karma Letrac. Karma Lectrac. Karma Lectrac. There we go. Fuego has another lead jammer. But the Denver star was passed to Smash Cotton.
The match we've always dreamed of. Sorry, I was late.
That's all right. That food truck is delicious.
I know. I can't wait to try it. It's going to sound inappropriate, but I'm going to smash some tacos in between jams here. You can say that if you're also blocking Klein, who's next on the jam line for Denver. Her derby nickname is Sharon Tacos. Tacos for short, and that's Velocity Raptor in the purple for Fuego as well. Raptor fighting up front and getting lead jammer status for Fuego Latino. Star pass there from Tacos to Blazin. Tacos coming out hot against Raptor as a blocker. Call her Blockos when she's blocking. All right, let's look at that call off and what came out of that. 3 points in favor for Fuego Latino and 2 for Denver Roller Derby. So a little bit of a late call off there. The quick star pass did stop some of the bleeding there. Next up on the jam line, we have Rat for Denver Roller Derby and Reflex for Fuego Latino. Flux finding space. Nice. Getting lead jammer status with the outside, but Brawny trying to stop them. Lead jammer status for Fuego Latino. Rat trying to find space in the back, but recycle upon recycle. That is OJ. Olivia Shootin' John in the front. Trying to slow Rat down. All right, call off there. 0 for Denver, and was that 3? 3 for Fuego. 4-17 so far. We are 5 minutes into the game. So far, I mean, I was late, but pretty clean game as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's been great. I think maybe 1-2 penalties.
I do know as a Denver skater, it does take Denver 10 minutes to get into a game, but this is also an amazing showing from Fuego. Really, you know, consistently jammer status against some of the best blockers in the world is a beauty to see. Nice spin move by Misty Maven on the out. Oh, that's not Misty Maven. That's Scare Bear. Sorry, they had the similar haircut. Scare Bear 3 jammer status, but Mistake hot on their heels. Yeah, looks like Denver got Fuego a bit separated on that jam, so Scare Bear could weave through and get, assuming 3 points there for Denver. 10-point game. All right. Next up on the jam line is actually Misty Maven and Haas the Boss. A little bit of Jammer D happening in the back there. Excellent pockets as well. I really like the Mimi Mahler and Dominican Dynamite 2-butt combo. Like, it's really lethal. They're so sticky. They're so dynamic. It's truly a nightmare to deal with. Misty Maven takes off the star as Haas the Boss does have lead jammer status. Easy 4 points there for Haas the Boss. Whiskey Wants Sweets heading to the box for Fuego. That is their pivot. Another fun thing about Fuego Latino is it is a Latinx diasporic team. Let's see, on the track so far I've seen skaters Mexican, Colombian, Peruvian, Dominican. I see an Argentinian out there as well. Lots of great Latinx skaters representing tonight. We have Vinny Vidi Vici jamming for Denver Roller Derby and Reflex jamming for Fuego. Reflex with the lead jammer status. Scoring pass for Reflex. See at least 3 points for now with the call off. Interesting call off. Fuego has 2 blockers in the box. 3 points for Fuego on that. So Fuego will start with a small disadvantage. 2 in the box. They're trying to take the front, which tells me they're trying to run away. But Cotton is trying to make it so they cannot take the front. All the mini games and all of the moments of roller derby, I love it. Looks like Cotton's probably on offense. Gonna split them apart. Leaves Moose to go just against Maneki and Peace War. Lead jammer status for Moose definitely. And that gives a Raptor a tough wall in the back to deal with. That is Chinaski. A Fuego player, as you can see, Chinaski is wearing a Fuego jersey, but the white version to represent both teams tonight. All of the Fuego Latino players have been released from the penalty box. And Raptor is reaching for that star pass, but their pivot, Whiskey Von Sweets, is on defense currently. Okay, pack is front. Yeah, that wall is no joke. Chinaski and California are both in my wall, and it's a nightmare to touch either of them, so I definitely understand Raptor's struggle, but that was an excellent start pass to Whiskey Von Sweets. And a great defense by Fuego to stop Moose from scoring too many points or getting too many laps. 0 points for Fuego and only 2 for Denver. We have a 15-point game on our hands with 19 minutes left to go in the first half. I know Fuego Latino had about a 7-hour practice yesterday.
Ooh.
Some study hall, some drills, and some decision-making, strategy decision-making stuff to make or to do, practice and all that. Bria Freyd playing offense. Zelda to the penalty box, and Klein with lead. Leah is so excited about that. Huge apex jump to get that as well. Little bean dip, juke. And she's gonna hit. Yeah, woo. Okay, Whiskey's too strong for that. Leah was waiting to signal for a call off. Taco's decided, I'm gonna call it off because Fuego has one in the box and let's keep the advantage. Fuego looking to have a top of the pack start, especially when you're down one. That is a more strategic position most of the time. Woo-hoo-hoo, close. But Mistake didn't realize she went out of bounds on that attempt. Rat working the top of the pack there for Denver Roller Derby. Bronny, Buttons, and Miz trying to get that recycle, but Mistake gets out of the pack, but not before Rat gets lead jammer. Rat calls it from the floor. 0-0 jam. This is actually the greatest game for me to announce because I know every single person on both teams.
That's so
So I can
cool.
watch, and I don't even know why I'm holding this roster.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited for both teams, so there's no
All right,
bias.
like it's an amazingly exciting game.
Yeah, high level, lots of action, and close as well. We have Haas versus Maven once again. I believe this is the second time, and again, both kind of focusing on that jammer defense. Maneki and Peace War working in the back against Maven. All right, Haas does get lead jammer status. Misty Maven is hot on their heels low. Misty Maven loves a good race. Haas calls it off before either can score. All right, all 8 blockers and both jammers are on the track. Looks like we have Karma Electrac and Scare Bear on the jam line. Scare Bear following Bria Afraid for some offense. I'm telling you, this Fuego defense is so hard to move. Scare Bear does manage to make it work and get lead jammer status. Karma Electrac is right behind them though. All right, Fuego skating forward to not be a point. Let's see if they are successful. Looks like some collisions were happening for those points. 2 points for Denver in that jam. I don't see the Fuego. Oh, I guess must have been 0 for Fuego. That makes sense. Oh no, 3 for Denver on that jam. So now it's a 9-point game as it was before. Vini Vidi Vici up against Reflex. Bold move Buttons playing offense on the Fuego wall, but unfortunately they are only hitting the brace, which at this level doesn't quite do too much. You really have to get the immediate threat. Vinny does get lead though through that chaos. Star pass to Don't Blink. Let's see if Denver chooses to run it on a pivot. Leah's calling for the call off, and it happens before Blink can score. Two points in Denver's favor.
Slowly inching their way back up.
I was gonna say Fuego's been stuck on 25 for a bit, so maybe a swing is coming. Diosa is turn coach and she was just dancing. She's always a source for entertainment, but now just checking her phone, of course, when the camera comes. All right, we have Velocity Raptor jamming against Klein against the MHC wall. Klein hopping out, getting lead jammer status on that straightaway. Giant pile up. Velocity Raptor does take the star off. See if Peace War will go for the pass. Does hit Klein out on that scoring pass. Takes a star pass. Nice 180 apex jump. Super casual, super easy. Probably for anyone, right?
Easy peasy.
Easy
of course.
peasy, lemon squeezy. 4 points for Denver on that pass. It's now become a 3-point game. All right, Moose definitely against Karma Electrac. Whiskey Von Sweets playing some great O there on NBD to pop Karma out of the pack to get lead jammer status. Moose struggling against a 2-all, that is Mimi Mahler and Whiskey Von Sweets, but they are deemed out of play, so Moose definitely is released from the pack. Nice finishing hit there by Blazin, who is also a member of Fuego Latino. All right, 3 points back in Fuego's favor. Looks like we have some sort of timeout. I don't know who called it. Officials or
Looks
team,
like a
but here we are.
Fuego timeout there.
Oh, you're correct. See, on Fuego's bench tonight, we have Rocksteady Betty, Coach Joel, and Guantana Berta. Evil X is helping on the jammer side of the bench, and Dios Azteca is turn coach. On the bruising side of things, we have Ghost on turn coach, Leah Davidson, Chet Cotton, and Brix Barrett on working the bench, and a Gay of Reckoning as well. All right, our jam has started. We have Mistake jamming for Fuego Latino and Rat jamming for Denver Roller Derby. Olivia shooting John with a big recycle, bringing Rat all the way back to the jammer start line. Rat did find a hole on the out, but Don't Blink did manage to close it in time. Mistake has lead jammer status. Ooh, cut track by Rat. That gives Fuego Latino a power jam. Let's see what their strategy is. Looks like Fuego is trying to separate some blockers. It's like some one-on-one. Nice hit out by Grizz to recycle Mistake. All right, nice call there by Mistake to end the jam to give Fuego the advantage going to the next jam with Rat as a jammer in the penalty box for Denver. I love those types of calls.
That was actually the highest scoring jam of this game so far at 5 points.
Yeah. All right, looks like there is a fight for space up front. Fuego's really, really fighting to have that line. They want to run away. That was like a football start by Kelly.
Yeah.
She was like, I'm taking you out. Haas is so jukey, though. You really can't give them any lateral space. So the Fuego Latino did work to get a power start. They were not able to get lead off that initial strategy, but lead is still open for either team now that Rat is back on the track. And Rat finds room on the out, so lead jammer status for Denver. There's a star pass to Peace War. Denver is running the jam, which personally I don't know if that's a great idea because Peace War is an amazing jammer. Whoa, that would be a little bit of a penalty in my book, but listen, I'm 60 feet away in the stand, so my opinion doesn't matter. Nice hit it there by No Mames on Rat, getting that recycle. So it looks like Denver's strategy to run it on the pivot turned jammer was a good strategy. We are playing some backwards derby right here.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. We were middle of turn 3-4 on the other side of the apex, went all the way back to the other end. Rat says, I got my points, I'm over it. Let's call this one. 4 points on the board for Denver roller derby, 3 for Fuego. Looks like there is a timeout. I think that is going to be an official review by Leah Davidson for Denver, and I think they're going to try to get a forearm penalty on the Fuego jammer. But that's just my guess. I'm going to eat a taco. Hold on. All right, I stopped eating my taco to tell you all that I was right about that OR guess. I don't know what the verdict is, but we will find out. If Denver wins, that would mean Peace War would be in the penalty box as a jammer. If they do not win, that means derby will continue as normal. And it looks like that penalty was issued. Maven is motioning for a power jam. So that is an official review won by Leah Davidson. Leah's a baddie, we know that. She just has to prove it or she doesn't even have to, but she just proves it to us naturally every day. I think it was at our coach Spicy. He's Gobrek's husband, but he's a great at ORs. I think he won 3 ORs in one game in Hometown 2023, which is amazing. You know, there's all sorts of strategies in ORs, so I love a good OR. All right, so that means Denver is on a power jam. That is Misty Maven up against Mimi Mahler at the front of the pack. Misty Maven gets lead jammer status. Fuego is also down to blocker, so it is a little heavy in Denver's favor right now. All right. Both the blocker and the jammer from Fuego have been released from the box. Peace has taken off the star. We'll see if they are able to pass it. Maven doing laps in the meantime. There we go. Fuego's locked it down a bit. Peace War up against Be Afraid at the front of the pack, although out of play is called. Wow, and that is a big jam. That is an 12-point jam for Denver. That was the most points they have scored in a single jam. Biggest jam of the game, I believe.
Yes.
And that has also led to a lead change. So now it is a 6-point game in Denver's favor. Huge, huge jam.
Yeah, in the last 2 jams there, they got 20 points up.
Yeah, that's a gigantic amount.
Huge jump.
I mean, sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, but when a game is this close and the defense is so tight, that is a huge amount.
Yeah, yep.
All right, we have Scare Bear jamming for Denver and Karma Electrac jamming for Fuego Latino. Karma Electrac does have lead jammer status. That's Blue Jay going to the box for a foreign penalty.
Ooh.
Nice apex jump there by Karma Electrac. Nice recycle there by Machu Picchu as well. Denver was unable to play O because their jammer got hit off. Good catch there by Soko for Denver. All right, both jammers are out. Denver is trying to make a wall up front. Fuego looks to be trying to peel some people off. And it is just a jammer on jammer match in the back. Karma calling it off after position was lost. So now Fuego is back in the lead. 42-44. Another lead change, so we get to drink our jarritos here. All right, one Denver blocker in the box. So Denver is starting with 3. We have Haas the Boss representing Fuego with the jammer star, and Klein is working the back of the pack for Denver. Fancy one hand down by Haas the Boss, getting lead jammer status. This is a bit of a different matchup, I think. Yeah, Denver was not even looking on that one. Easiest points Haas has scored in a while, probably, right there. I think the jammer matchups have changed a bit with that jammer penalty going into the next jam. I know Klein was jamming against, or not Klein, Haas was jamming against Misty Maven before. So I thought Haas had lead, but I do not see the jam ref pointing at them anymore. Maybe it was, they didn't get lead because I know they had a one hand down out of bounds and the blocker ran back. So I guess they didn't pass all 4 Denver blockers legally, or, you know, in play basically, to get that status. So there's a no lead. We're going the full 2 minutes on this jam. Denver has now 8 on the board. Fuego has points in the pocket. Good defense by Mystifine in the back, completely sucking back on Klein, so an offense was unable to be given. That is California recycling Maneki on the star pass. Denver hitting Maneki off the track, so Fuego cannot play offense, but there was no time left in the jam. That is a 12-point jam for Denver roller derby. I think it would be some amount of points for Haas before they took the star off. We'll see how that goes. Looks like they're in discussions of why Haas did not have lead jammer status after the whistle was blown on it. I'm going to run over there real quick because I think points are missing, and I'm going to tell the Fuego coach. And I'm on their team, so I need to tell them. All right, as I was walking over there, Fuego was awarded their points for that pass, it sounds like. So yeah, what happens when the jammer is scoring points, but then takes off the star and passes it, once those points that they collected while they had the star on count. So it looks like Haas had gotten 2 points. And I like the strategy here by Coach Rocky from Fuego. They also were confused why Haas did not have lead anymore because they had one hand down, so technically they're still upright and in bounds. So they brought that to the ref's attention instead of creating an official review. By asking that question, the refs called an official timeout. So Fuego didn't have to use an official review on that. At the same time, I don't even know if they won that official review, what could change in the game anyway, right?
Right, there was a lot that they would have had to change.
It was a good question to ask, and it was not used as a review, so I'm happy with that. All right, we have Raptor jamming for Fuego, Vinny jamming for Denver Roller Derby. Velocity Raptor does have a lead jammer status. Vinny takes the star off. Woo! Everyone went to hit each other at the same time. Vinny finds room on the inside line to get out of the pack. Velociraptor is on the scoring pass, looking for O from Zelda, Whiskey, and Mimi. I'm not sure if Raptor has Bria's points yet. They at least have 3. Please be 4 and give us a tie game. Oh my God. Oh no, Vinny got a point. Oh, 2 points. Okay, 2-point game. What more could you ask for? Just as crazy as the juniors game, except for a little different on the jammer penalties.
Right.
But look at that as well, the same conversation about jammer penalties. That's 1 jammer penalty that resulted in 12 points in this game, and look at the score. Like, that's a big difference.
Right.
We have Moose definitely jamming against Karma Electrac. Buttons working to play O for Moose. Grizz shutting down Karma on that seam. Both jammers do find room. Moose is lead. Karma passes them. 1 Denver blocker has gone to the box. And Denver has lead. It looks like their coach is signaling them to run it. Yeah, Dominican Dynamite just gets so low. It's like, I hate when I watch footage and I see myself. I'm not tall, but I'm the tallest person playing, so I'm so high.
Oh, wow.
And Dynamite can, like, I don't know, get so low. Very impressive, and hold that position as well. So with that, we have a 1-point game. Denver Roller Derby has 63, Fuego Latino at 62. This will likely be the last jam of the half. And that is Haas the Boss up against Misty Maven once again.
Denver
on
is
that
down
jammer
1 block.
defense. Yeah.
1 blocker.
And I think that was Maven trying to slow down Haas so that blocker could come out of the box and help, but it wasn't quite enough. Nice coverage there by Cotton to hit Haas the Boss out on that inside line. Oh my gosh, power jam for Denver Roller Derby. Misty Maven picks up lead jammer status. Sheena says good night to Machu. Let's see, and that is one Fuego blocker in the box. Haas has returned. Not in scoring position. They have yet to make their initial pass legally. OJ recycling Misty Maven on the outside. Okay, Haas is now in scoring position. Denver signaling to call it. That should be 8 points on that jam in Denver's favor. And Fuego Latino with 0. So we have a 9-point game. The only difference, yeah, between these two teams is I see a little bit, I feel like the Fuego defense is really strong. And I feel like the Denver provides a little bit more offense. So it kind of balances out a bit. No crazy penalties, just a couple power jams. Big difference with those power jams. I think that's a total of 20 points in favor for Denver in the power jams. So it could be a different story, but there's a second half that will write itself. So thank you very much, and come back in 14 minutes.
Hola a todos. Hi everyone. This is Civil War. Soy Guerra Civil. Estamos ahora viendo el juego de Denver Roller Derby con Latin Fuego. Vamos a empezar en un minuto. Ya están todas las patinadoras viniendo al Jammer Line. Ahora estamos aquí en Denver, Colorado. Podemos ver que Haas the Boss va a ser la jammer para Fuego Latino. Que Fuego Latino está en morado. Haas the Boss is going to be the jammer right now for Fuego Latino. I want to say Maven is going to be the jammer coming up for Denver Roller Derby. Maven va a ser la jammer que va a apuntar los puntos para Denver Roller Derby. Las dos empiezan en estos momentos. Both jammers are trying to struggle through the pack, but Denver Roller Derby jammer empieza primero y ella va a salir primero. Y en estos momentos ella va a estar apuntando puntos. Está tratando de pasar las caderas de ella a las caderas de las otras patinadoras. Y en estos momentos ya pudo salir Haas the Boss. Se ha puesto de regreso el cubrecasco, pero en estos momentos la están mandando a la caja de penalty. Haas the Boss has received a penalty and is going to the jammer or to the penalty box. So we have a power jam for the white team, Denver Roller Derby. En estos momentos vamos a tener un power jam para el número 20, el 33, Blanca de Tacos, de Denver Roller Derby. Ella en estos momentos también está apuntando puntos y acaba de pasar, casi pasa a todos los 4 jammers de Fuego Latino, perdón, los bloqueadores del Fuego Latino, pero en estos momentos la sacaron para afuera y la van a reciclar y la están reciclando. Right now, even though she was recycled, she is out. And number 33 for Denver, Jammer, is coming back to score points. Both jammers are fighting to get through, but we're being, one of our wonderful zebras is calling a forearm. Arson has given a forearm to one of the white blockers. Arson le ha dado un penalty a uno de los blockers blancos. Y va a empezar Juego Latino con todos los 4 bloqueadores en estos momentos, a mientras que Denver solo va a tener las 3 bloqueadoras. Both jammers are on the track right now, and they're both struggling in the back. These are super strong walls from both of the teams. Y se sale Rat. Y Peace War está tratando de no dejarla pasar, pero en estos momentos se pudo pasar Rat y es el lead jammer. La están, no la pudieron, ella no pudo pasarse las 2 bloqueadoras en estos momentos de Fuego Latino y lo está llamando off. Rat is calling it off. Estamos a 0-0 en ese jam. Ninguno de los jammers en este momento pudo apuntar algún punto, aunque en esa última lap que estaban ellos dos tratando de score points. Both jammers are on the track and oh my gosh, they're both ahead, but I want to say that the white jammer is going to be lead at this moment. Scare Bear And she's calling it off. She did get 1 point. Todas las bloqueadores de Fuego Latino ahorita están tomando la línea del pivot. Both jammers have been released into the pack and they're fighting their way through their initial lap. Las dos jammers están tratando de pasarse por la primera vez para ver quién va a ser lead jammer. Y el jammer blanco ha pasado Maven y en estos momentos ha pasado el jammer panty al pivot de Fuego Latino. Número, quiero decir 77 o 17, perdón. 17, el número 17 morado de Fuego Latino ahora tiene el jammer panty. Y los dos están peleando contra las bloqueadoras del equipo opuesto. En estos momentos vamos a tener al número 5-11 en la caja de penalty para Fuego Latino. So we have 3 blockers for Fuego Latino on the track. Right now, 1 is in the penalty box, but we still have both jammers on the track. Oh, good attempt by Haas the Boss to try to take out the white jammer at the last minute, at the very front, being the last line of defense. La última línea de defensa de Haas the Boss, pero no pudo parar a Maven. En estos momentos, Fuego Latino, el jammer de Fuego Latino, el número 17, está en la caja de penalty. We have an advantage right now, a jammer advantage for Denver. El jammer de Denver es el único jammer que está en la pista en estos momentos. Es Moose, número 35. Y casi pasa completamente enfrente de todas, pero en ese momento se cayó y una de las bloqueadores también se cayó encima de ella. Todavía sale Moose por adelante. Lead jammer. She's going against a tripod of Fuego Latino. Las 3 bloqueadoras de Fuego Latino están tratando de parar a Moose en estos momentos, pero tienen una del equipo de Denver que le está haciendo en verdad la vida un poco imposible ahorita Fuego Latino porque no está dejando que puedan reciclar a Moose. Number 357 is trying to break up the wall or tried to break up the wall of Fuego Latino players to provide some offense, and they were able to successfully recycle Moose. Now who is struggling against the Fuego Latino blockers, who are now all 4 of them against her. Todas las 4 bloqueadores de Fuego Latino están contra Moose y fue un poco mucho para Moose. Ahorita ya lo llamó. Ya dice, aquí vamos a terminar. No voy a seguir más. Yo soy el lead jammer y yo voy a terminar este jam. We're starting the next jam with both of the jammers on the track right now for Fuego Latino and for Denver. Fuego Latino's jammer 121 has been sent to the penalty box. It is a power jam for Denver. Denver's jammer is coming through and trying to make her way through the inside of the track of that apex. Pero en estos momentos la jammer de Denver no pudo pasarse por adentro del aro de la pista. Y tuvo que llamar off el jam. Todas empiezan rápido. Trata de saltar el apex. La jammer blanca de Denver Roller Derby. .511 from Fuego Latino is trying to stop number 33 from Denver. Very good one-on-one work. Now there you see her coming up to a tripod of 3 at the very front of the pack. They're trying to utilize the 10, 15, 20 feet in the front. Están tratando de parar todas las bloqueadoras del equipo de Fuego Latino a la jammer de Denver, pero en estos momentos ha podido ella pasarse por adentro de la pista en las líneas número 1 y número 2, lo que lo llamamos número 1 and 2. The inside of the track. But now she has engaged the Fuego blockers again in the back. Y la están reciclando otra vez. Dice Machu Picchu, no, yo te voy a reciclar. Ah, pero también está el número 1031, que ahora es el jammer y se pone el cubrecasco. Y mejor dice la jammer de Denver, no, ya no voy a pararlo aquí. Entonces para, she calls off the jam. We had a lot of skaters come in from different states. I know that we're looking at Peace War right there in the front. She is the pivot, number 27 for Fuego Latino. Peace War del Fuego Latino, número 27. Ella viene del estado de Texas con the Texas Roller Girls. Y sale primero el jammer número 113 de Fuego Latino. Ella es Velociraptor y tiene lead jam. Ella es la que puede estar apuntando los puntos, pues los está apuntando ahorita y puede parar el jam cuando ella quiera pararlo. Y lo está haciendo ahorita. Se toca las caderas rápidamente, más de 2 veces creo que le agarran. Algunas veces nosotras agarramos, nos pegamos las caderas y también la cabeza como el casco. Pero cuando se tocan las caderas así consecutivamente, consecutively, es cuando el jam tiene que parar y los referees llaman el jam terminado o off. Y en estos momentos se pasa Haas the Boss, la jefa. Haas, y ella es lead jammer. Todavía no ha salido el jammer de Denver del pack, pero ahorita acaba de salir. Entonces ahora está Haas the Boss, acaba de pasar, and she scored all her points. And she's right behind the white Denver jammer, trying to catch up to her, who is now going to be scoring points. Y el jammer de Denver agarra todos los 4 puntos contra las bloqueadoras de Fuego Latino. We're looking at a Denver score now of 117 to Fuego Latino 76. These teams are both very high-level teams. Fuego Latino is trying to get to Austria for the World Cup. Este año Fuego Latino va a ir a Austria a jugar en la Copa Mundial de Roller Derby. The jam has started, and right now the jammer in the very front is going to be the white jammer, 1706. Hip hop and a skip. Maven has cleared the pack and is coming around for her scoring lap. Viene Maven para pasarse todas las bloqueadoras de Fuego Latino, pero la recicló una de ellas, el pivot número 22 de Fuego Latino. And Maven goes on the very inside line with incredible footwork on those toe stops. On the apex, coming in again. Denver has one of the players in the very back, which is also holding the jammer panty. La pivot de Fuego Latino ahorita tiene el casco del jammer y se está tratando de pasar, pero ahorita la están reciclando los bloqueadores de Denver y no dejan que se entre a la pista y pueda seguir adelante para score points, apuntar los puntos. Maven decide terminar este jam a 125 puntos para Denver y los 75 puntos para Fuego Latino. The next two jammers up on the line. Denver is going to have moves. And for Fuego Latino, their jammers coming in hard, hitting the two white blockers in the very front. Number 113 for Fuego Latino is the jammer. Fuego Latino's jammer is out first. She is being pointed to by Arson that she is the lead jammer. Moose is out, number 35, but she is about half a track back from the Fuego Latino jammer. We currently have one of the Fuego Latino blockers in the penalty box. She is sitting serving her time. Hay una de las bloqueadoras de Fuego Latino que está en la cajita de penalty ahorita. Y el equipo de el equipo de Denver ha pedido un timeout. Los referees están chequeando los patines y las ruedas como si algo estuviera en la pista. Están buscando algo. ¿Lo han encontrado? Ya casi, dicen. Ya estamos listos. Vamos a empezar otra vez. Both jammers are on the track. Fuego Latino has received another jammer penalty, and their jammer is now in the penalty box, while the white team, Denver, has the only scoring jammer on the track. En estos momentos está el jammer número 64 de Denver Roller Derby. Es el único jammer que está en la pista en estos momentos. Pero ya está parándose la jammer de Fuego Latino. Eso dice que solo tiene 10 segundos para su infracción. Y ahora la dejan entrar otra vez. Están los dos jammers. No hay nadie en la caja de penalty. Denver Jammer calls it off. And nobody in the penalty box right now. 5 versus 5 on the track, no penalties. En estos momentos, ahorita no hay nadie en la caja de penalties. En la cajita de regaño, como le digo yo. Empezamos el jam. Both of the jammers are trying to struggle against their perspective. Oh! Number 33 for Denver Roller Derby is lead jammer in a very fancy way. Bien bonito, le salió como bailarina. Muy atlética. Número 33. Tacos. Ah, ya se está tocando las caderas, tacos. Y está terminando el jam aquí. En estos momentos tiene Denver Roller Derby 136 puntos contra los 77 que tiene Fuego Latino. No hay nadie en la caja de penalty, en la cajita de regaño. Están los 5 contra 5 en la pista. Oh, dicen que van a tomar. No, perdón, van a seguir. This whistle, it will go ahead and start things going. And here we go. Fuego Latino jammer just fighting up at the front against a tripod de 3 bloqueadores de Denver. Está tratando de empujar, pero lo tiene que hacer legal. No le puede empujar a las bloqueadoras en la espalda. Tiene que hacerlo hacia los lados. Y ella se pudo pasar completamente legalmente. Y ella va a ser el lead jammer. Fuego Latino. Velocity Raptor. En estos momentos todavía no ha salido el jammer de Denver. Entonces, como no pudo salir ella ha tomado el calzón que le decimos del casco o el cubre casco del jammer y lo tiene ella en la mano. Against the 2 blockers, now 3 blocker tripod. In the very back is number 13, the jammer for Denver. She's trying to make her way through the pack, and they are struggling to get past the last 2 blockers, which they have successfully gotten past them now. Engaging with Peace War. Peace War is the last line of defense right now. Oh, no, she's got some other friends now. She has some other Fuego Latino friends. And now she is out of the pack and putting back the jammer helmet while 113 decides that this is a great time to go ahead and call it off. Very fast start for this jam. Han empezado los dos equipos bien rápido. Y ha salido Fuego Latino como primero, como lead jammer. Fuego Latino is coming in for their scoring lap. and Fuego Latino has gotten their points, while the Denver Jammer is still in the pack, trying to make that initial pass. Todavía no ha pasado el Jammer de Denver por primera vez como su inicial. Entonces ahorita la única persona que está apuntando puntos es Fuego Latino, con el Jammer de Fuego Latino, Karma Electric. Escuchamos some whistles de nuestros referees. One of the blockers from Fuego Latino is going to be called out on a penalty, and she is serving her time in the box. The advantage for Denver here. Ooh, massive hit at the very front. Number 99 from Fuego Latino tried to go ahead and stop. Number 17. Una de las bloqueadoras de Fuego Latino trató de parar la Jammer de Denver. Le pegó bien fuerte. No la pudo parar, pero ella después solo se paró y con una gran sonrisa en la cara. She had a big old smile on her face when she went ahead and got back up off the ground after that big hit. All of these wonderful people are so athletic. All our volunteers here who are fixing our track, our medical personnel, our coaches, and everybody who helps run our production tonight. Thank you all. Muchas gracias por todas las personas que nos ayudan, que nosotros sabemos que lo hacen gratis, son voluntarios. Nosotros hacemos esto y patinamos por nuestra propia pasión.
Looks like that was the highest scoring jam for Fuego this game, all game. It's fantastic news for them.
Este fue el jam que Fuego Latino tuvo más puntos. Dice mi compañero aquí que eso es fantástico. Y en verdad lo son. Ahorita el Fuego Latino solo tiene 93, pues digo solo, solo casi 100 los puntos, pero Fuego Latino tiene puntos de 93 puntos. Y Denver, 136. Los dos equipos están jugando tan bien. Both teams are playing very strong. I also wonder how our fellow skaters are after flying in from other states. And I'm always amazed that they don't look as winded as I feel I would be if I had to go up at altitude.
Right, flying up from, especially from Texas.
From Texas is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We have Haas, the boss out there, La Jefa, number 55 for Fuego Latino, who is from Austin, Texas, and lives there and has been playing for the Texas Roller Girls. We also have OJ out there, who is also an OG. Tenemos unas patinadoras de Austin, Texas, y siempre me pregunto si ya cuando vienen aquí a Colorado y estamos en este aire de las montañas, si no se cansan más rápido. Yo pienso que pues yo me cansaría si viniera desde allá. Y algunas de las patinadoras que vienen de otros estados, por ejemplo, es Haas the Boss, el número 55 para Fuego Latino. Le digo la jefa, el jefe. Y también Peace War y OJ, que vienen de las Texas Roller Girls de Austin, Texas. And now for Denver is going to be Maven, number 1706. And she's really just doing incredible footwork on those toe stops, spinning. People are falling, but she is pushing very legally through the blockers to make it as the lead jammer. Ahorita Maven es el lead jammer de Denver Roller Girls, el número 1706, y está pasándose las bloqueadoras del Fuego Latino con una experiencia en verdad muy impresionante, con sus patines como bailando, y personas hasta se estaban cayendo encima de los patines de ella, pero ella seguía adelante. ¿Saben lo que nunca le he preguntado a Peace War, el número 27, que ahorita tiene el casco de pivot para Fuego Latino? Es por qué se lo pone así para un lado. Me gusta, sí me gusta. Ahorita están los dos jammers. Sale primero el jammer de Denver, Moose. Ella va a ser lead jammer en estos momentos. Sale el otro jammer de Fuego Latino, pero está como una media pista atrás. Va a llegar Moose primero and ready to score points, but she is calling it off. She tried to get her hips in there, and she was able to score, or I actually can't see the refs. No puedo ver el referee ahorita.
Dos.
No le ve. Los 2 puntos. 2 puntos. Moose. Tenemos 2 nuevos jammers en el jammer line. Both jammers are trying to make their way through the pack. Right now, the Fuego Latino jammer 121 is being recycled by a blocker for Denver. She tries to make it through both of their arms. She does get through, but does get caught up by the Denver blockers, who are recycling and try to catch her back up the front, but she does get past them and is coming back around for her scoring pass for Fuego Latino. Shimmy, shimmy of the shoulder. And gets through, except now she's having a malfunction on her left skate at the very bottom. It looks like it has come untied, but she is still the scoring jammer. She's pulled herself off the track for a hot second to get herself together on that skate. El jammer de Fuego Latino, ahorita algo le ha pasado a su patín y está teniendo algunos problemas con el patín, se está como deslizando, pero ha tratado ella de arreglar ese problema y se ha metido de regreso a la pista y está contra los bloqueadores de Denver y decide, ok, voy a tratar de agarrar mis puntos y I'm going to call it off, ya voy a terminar. Ha quedado un pedazo de alguna cosa de su patín, creo, allá afuera.
It's so small, actually. There we go.
Oh, nice, okay. And we have an official timeout right now. Hay un tiempo de revisión de los oficiales. Ahorita quieren revisar nuestras cebras. Están hablando con los voluntarios de los puntos, que están poniendo todos los puntos en la televisora aquí. They're just speaking to our scorekeepers during this official timeout. Celebration time. Vamos a celebrar ahorita.
China has been skating with Denver all night, but just switched over to Fuego.
Oh. Una de las jugadoras de Denver ahora está jugando para Fuego Latino y Haas the Boss va a ser el lead jammer de Fuego Latino. She's going very fast, coming around the very back to go ahead and engage those white blockers at the very front. And she has engaged them. They did successfully stop her. And she is working very fancy footwork, extremely formidable athletes attempting to stop her. And on one foot, she is still trying to keep inbounds. And the jammer for Denver, number 33, has now gotten out and is coming around for her scoring pass, I want to say. En estos momentos, el jammer de Fuego Latino sí es lead, Karma Electrac. Oh, perdón, han pasado el cubre casco al pivot de Fuego Latino, que es Peace War. Y en estos momentos, Peace War is beginning to engage in the back of the pack, and both the Denver jammer is also engaging with the pack. It is a full pack, 5-on-5. Nobody is in the box. There has been a jammer pass to jammer helmet pass to the pivot. Peace War for Fuego Latino. En estos momentos casi sale el jammer de Denver, pero al último momento Haas the Boss la paró y la sacó de la pista. Ahorita se están dando unos grandes abrazos. Este es el unofficial score. 154 to 105, Fuego Latino. 154, Denver Roller Derby. That's the unofficial score. Ese Denver Roller Derby tiene 154 puntos contra Fuego Latino a los 105, y ese va a ser el score final. El equipo de Denver ha ganado y está tomando su victory lap. Dándole gracias a Fuego Latino . También le queremos dar muchas gracias a la gente de Loveland, de Skate Rats, que ellos vinieron a estar seguros que en ocasiones cuando a alguien se les, así lo que acaba de pasar, como si se les parte algo del equipo, digamos de los patines, o algo se les cae. Es bonito tener a Skate Rats aquí, porque entonces podemos comprar lo que nosotros necesitamos de nuestro equipo de Roller Derby. Aquí no tenemos que ir hasta Loveland. Thank you.